we can just talk about. So,
Oh, you want to talk about? Okay, so here's what I want to talk about.
all right,
I'm just gonna blow it up here
all right.
because it's not recorded, and we have to salvage something from the last show. We have to talk about the Batman and how amazing that looks. And I finally got some notes down and what I wanted to say and express my opinion about Robert Pattinson being as Batman. First off, what was your take of the trailer? What did you think about this
I
first
thought it
trailer?
was it's
Keep in mind,
different.
we have about a year before this movie is going to be released in
Well, we don't know
theaters.
because of the production got delayed because the Batman got it, so it could be even longer now. But
Yeah, I
anyway,
mean,
I'm watching that trailer. I dig the vibe because this is the director who made the Planet of the Apes trilogy, right? The Rise of the Planets.
I don't know who's doing this one.
I'm pretty sure it
Well, we
is.
find out.
Pretty sure. But anyway, yeah,
I've
watch
got
it.
Google right over
But
here.
watching that trailer, I was sold on it because I know when you see Robert Pattinson, you think of Twilight. You're kind of like, I don't want to keep putting him as the vampire guy, but now it's like I'm pretty sure it's kind of like what Heath Ledger was like. Before he went like Brokeback Mountain, and then he went to the Joker. Everyone's giving him shit like, oh, he can't do the Joker. He can't pull it off. And then once we finally saw like the Dark Knight, we're all like, holy shit, he's like the best thing in the whole movie. Like,
Yeah, so number one, it is Matt Reeves that directed it. So he did the last two Planet of the Apes, the newest trilogy of Planet of the Apes. He did the last two, Dawn and War of the Planet of the Apes.
oh, amazing. So
Freaking great! I love those movies.
yeah,
So
those are
like, I
great.
am excited for this
So
movie.
if he can make apes look good, like he'll be okay with this movie, because like
Yeah, it looks great all around. I somehow this is the what
this is probably
seventh
like the sixth or
iteration
seventh
outside of the
Batman.
animated series. This is like the seventh
Yeah,
live action Batman we've got, and somehow they make it fresh and exciting. And I am jacked to see this movie. I mean, I've watched this trailer 25 times, and it is amazing every single time I watch it. I think one of the underrated parts about this that they aren't showing much, they didn't even show him in the trailer, that I think is going to be awesome, is his relationship with Alfred, who is played by, this should have triggered me to know that it was Matt Reeves, Andy Serkis, who played Caesar in Planet of the Apes.
oh,
He's
he's
actually
he's
Alfred,
he's Alfred.
and he's Alfred in the Batman. So
Wow.
like I'm a huge Andy Serkis because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. So hearing you can hear his voice in the trailer at one point. So
I
like
had no idea that was
putting
his
those
voice at
pieces
all.
together, yep. So I'm excited. To the people that hate Robert Pattinson, though, last week I couldn't explain the couple movies that I wanted you to see. Here are the movies. I got a list for one. There are 5 movies I would recommend. Number one point I wanted to make was it's been since 2012 since the Twilight movie has been released.
Was that the last one?
That's the last movie. So it's been
Wow.
8 years since he's been in Twilight. It's almost been a decade for him to learn
Not to do those movies.
not to do those movies. And I don't think it was his fault. I really don't think it was his fault. I think the director told him, "You are a pale vampire that looks like he needs to take a shit 24/7, and you're trying to hold it in the entire series." And that's what he did. He played that exact same role the entire time from the moment he stares at Bella or whatever her friggin' name was, the first one to the moment he breaks the bed when they're banging it out. Terrible, terrible, terrible series. So it's been a long time. It's
Most
been
boring sex
2012.
scene ever in the history of
It's
cinema.
it's bad. So there's a couple movies I'd recommend. Good Times with Robert Pattinson. It's on Netflix. I believe it's on Netflix right now. He is like a druggy guy, and I think it's him and his brother or one of his buddies. They're basically running away from the law. It takes place in one night, and he's a real piece of garbage guy. Awful. He's a douchebag and a garbage human being. I think it's in the UK. It's set in the UK. Great movie. Go see it. The second one is an older movie. It's called The Rover. It's with Guy Pearce, and it's like a futuristic doomsday type setting. I think it's set in Australia, so it almost is like Mad Max. It's almost like the first Mad Max, where
With
it's
Mel
not
Gibson.
totally. Yes, yes, it's
Okay.
like the first Mad Max, kind of, where civilization's pretty much torn to shreds, but there's still some remnants of it. It's not totally like the latest Mad Max, where everything's crazy, or Beyond Thunderdome.
Mm-hmm.
Very good movie. He's great in that movie. Lost City of Z. He's a smaller role in that movie. That's an Amazon original, I believe. That's with the same dude who plays. the main character in Sons of Anarchy. Really good movie too. And then the other one that just recently came out, probably in the last 12 months, called The King. He plays a French king. I think he might be playing a prince at that
He
point.
was in a movie with William Dafoe too, that black and white.
Yeah, so that was going to be the other one I had, and it's called
Was it like The Lighthouse?
The hell's the name? The Lighthouse. And I actually didn't see that one, but that one looks phenomenal. Everything I've heard about that one is phenomenal. Just the trailers. I mean, the acting looks great. And I watched a couple clips of that movie. Like, I didn't want to watch the movie, so I haven't had time to watch it yet. So I watched a couple of the clips, and I was like, wow, this guy can freaking act. And then I've heard also Tenet just dropped this weekend, and I've heard nothing but good things about Robert Pattinson.
I watched.
So for
there
those
was
people that are hating on Robert Pattinson, I don't think you have a standing at all at this point.
There was a funny review on TV or a YouTube ad that I saw. One of the critics said it's like James Bond. It's like James Bond but on acid. that was the quote they actually put on like on the
Tenet?
ad on Tenet. They're like it's James on it's James Bond on acid.
Dude, I gotta go see it.
I was
mean, the
like,
movie
wow,
theaters are open here.
that's a very good clear
I'd
description
love
of
to.
what it is.
I'd love to see it this week and do a review on it next weekend and do that live. I mean, I think that'd be awesome.
Well,
I think it's great.
Well, well, the other scene is about the Batman is that where he was like beating the shit out of that one guy. He dropped him to the ground, then beat him up even more. I'm kind of like, all right, he doesn't give a fuck. He's like he's ruthless. I think he's more aggressive because like what I got from the trailer is like, okay, this is like usually like Batman's like, oh, he's been doing it for years, but this one he's like starting out. Like this is I think that's why it's like it's different. That's why he's not like, high geared up. He's like in combat boots, and his mask isn't like I mean it's a bat, but not like a pointy ears type bat mask with the cowl and everything.
Yep.
So it's like
a very specific combination of Ben Affleck and Christian Bale.
Yeah.
It's the best way to look at it, I think. I think personally.
And it's more of like it's not about like he can whip ass. It's more of like I'm kind of like they're going like into how he's like the world's greatest detective is now he's gonna actually use his brain to like figure out stuff. Which I was like, all right, I'm on board for it because that's what Ra's al Ghul like in the animated series. He never calls him Batman. He always calls him the detective or or detective. That's all he ever calls him, and that's why he's the greatest detective in the DC universe. So that's why I was like,
yep. I mean, okay. that's the whole name of DC is Detective Comics, right? I mean, that's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. That's all I had to talk about for these little minutes. So I don't know if you had anything to go over, but that's the big thing that I wanted to get off from, especially from last week. I know we touched on it. And we lost the stream and stuff, so it had to get
it had to be out there again. Oh, maybe I can clip the last 10 minutes as like an extra. People want to watch what we bullshit about. So I mean, I could do that like as another playlist. So it'd be like the off script. I'll call it off script. We could call it that off script or something.
Yeah, I like that. I'm good with that.
It's just like last 10 minutes of us like talking about whatever's on our mind, and then. But I can't wait for next week though. I'm so excited for what I want to talk about. It's not.
All right, can you give me a little sneak peek because I can't remember what you told me.
It was about Disney remakes and how much they suck ass.
Oh yeah! Holy crap! I totally forgot about that.
Well, I don't want to like talk about Disney remakes. I'm talking like in general, like remakes.
The live action ones.
Like the live actions. I'm talking about games too, so I want to like talk about that too because the Mario games came out, like all 3 came out for the Switch.
Ooh.
So like, I was excited because like I only played the N64, but I remember you had the.
You didn't play. I didn't have the other 2, but I played.
I thought you had Sunshine.
I didn't. I never bought it. I never had it. But I played
Sunshine. I remember I just watched people play it. I never really personally played it.
I played it. I rented it a couple times, and then I played it at a couple people's houses. Great game though. Great game.
And then
that soundtrack is amazing.
That and I didn't play the space one because I didn't own a Wii U, so
I only played the demo at like Target.
Yeah,
I was too old. I was having kids when those Super Mario Galaxies ones came out.
that's what they were. But
I'm all
yeah.
they're all about.
But yeah, I want to talk about Disney live action because I only saw one, and that was The Beauty and the Beast, and then I'm about to watch Mulan and just be like, ah.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good if you're gonna watch Mulan. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. And I'll tell you, it'd be like,
if we can get a we'll have to get a pirated stream because there's no way in hell I'm paying that. I'm not paying Disney.
Didn't I send you the link? I sent you the link in our chat. You can just watch it on
Yeah,
your
I
phone.
saw that. I saw that. I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, if you have time.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't want to go too far into depth about it, but and I know we're gonna have a big disagreement on Mulan because I don't think it's that great of a Disney movie. But and I know it's one of your favorites.
The
If not your
animated?
favorite.
This guy. This guy.
I know it's one
you
of your
didn't like
favorites.
Mushu, you didn't like make a man out of you. Like that's like the greatest hits of all time. Make a man out of you.
I would say that music video is the high point of that. Outside of that, I don't think that movie's good. Who plays Mushu? Chris Rock?
No, Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy. Jeez, racist.
Racist, man. Racist.
Damn. Damn. They
All right,
all sound the same.
All right, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it off there. So, if this does becomes like a thing where we just shoot the breeze for the last 10 minutes, then we'll add it to our list of videos. So we'll do that.
I like it. All
right, then y'all, the internet. We'll see you next time next week. Later.